Alright, boys. Are you reacting to
So
speedrunning
there's this
Minecraft
challenge I've been
bosses?
seeing a lot on YouTube recently, and it's killing the 4 bosses in Minecraft: the Ender Dragon, the Elder Guardian, the Warden, and the Wither. The catch is you do it in hardcore Minecraft, so it's a little bit more difficult. But a lot of people I've been
Might take a
seeing doing
while.
it have been speedrunning it, as in they try to do it as fast as they can in as little time as possible. Now, I'm no speedrunner. I mean, I've dabbled a little bit. I know some of the techniques, I was just never very good at it, but I do play a lot of hardcore Minecraft. So I was curious to see what kind of time someone like me would put up in trying to kill the 4 bosses as fast as I could in Minecraft. So that's what we're trying to do here. As you can see, we have our little timer in the center of the screen. So right off the bat, I see this unfinished nether portal out in the middle of the ocean. So we're going to go grab that, because usually those things have, at the very least, flint and steel in them, or flint, which is on its own worth going to grab. Also, because it's out in the ocean, there's a good chance we can find some shipwrecks out here, which is a fantastic source of iron early game if you're trying to speed up your progress. So we get to this ruin portal, and as you can see, not only do we have flint and steel, but we also get golden carrots, golden apples, and gold, which is like the jackpot of a ruined portal. Because something you need in hardcore is a lot of food, and not just a lot of any food, but a lot of really good food. And golden carrots are some of the best food out there. They're literally better than steak in terms of saturation. I think. I could have just lied to you, actually. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're up there. So we grab those and we immediately head off to go look for a shipwreck for iron. We spot an ocean monument to our right, but we obviously have to leave that alone for now. If we tried to fight that, we'd die in about 2 seconds. But good to keep in mind for later, because we're going to need to find one of those. Although, in the ocean, they are everywhere. You swim any direction for like 2 minutes and you're almost guaranteed.
So, by the way, I'm gonna point this out. Why is he not eating? Like, I feel like whenever I'm hungry, and he's like, especially if I'm low health, I would just eat.
Guaranteed to find an ocean monument. So we spot a buried treasure, we dive down, we grab one of the chests where we find a buried treasure map, paper, and books, all very important things that we're going to need for later. When we dive down again, we get some carrots and some more paper. I know it's like super dark and hard to see. It was also super dark and hard to see for me at the time. And here I make a pretty big mistake.
This guy's shaders are actually kind of cool.
I try to open a chest in the corner here that has all the iron in it, except I accidentally put my crafting table on top of the chest. So not only is it going to be difficult to pick up my crafting table, but I can't open the chest. So I have to make a gold axe, swim up for air, re-dive down, break the crafting table with my gold axe. Then I can grab the
I feel like, oh, okay. Wouldn't you just break the chest? Yeah, you would just break the chest.
chest, which there's actually not that much iron in, and just hardly any gold. But luckily for us, the buried treasure was pretty close, and those usually have some pretty good loot in them also, so we go to grab that. And as you can see, once we grab the chest, we do get plenty of iron, some more gold, some more food, even a diamond and a piece of TNT, which is all going to be super useful for us here. So then we grab some more wood with our gold axe, and craft a bunch of tools. Now we're looking for a way to enter the nether. I don't know if you remember,
He just drank water breathing as he was resurfacing.
but that ruined portal we went to earlier was only 2 obsidian away from being able to be completed. So we find this cave, miss our water bucket clutch, and if you can see in my hotbar, I have 2 buckets, and that's because if I can find 2 solo pieces of lava down here, then I can actually go back and complete that ruined portal and go into the nether that way. This is my plan because I feel like usually if you go into a cave looking for a lava pool, you're just most likely not going to find one. But more often than not, there's a few lava waterfalls that have like their own sources. So that's why I was taking that route. But as we were looking for lava sources, we did actually find a lava pool. So we just decided to enter in through there. It's usually not the smartest idea to enter in the nether in hardcore without any armor. I did get a golden helmet, which will help with piglins.
If you're good, you can do it. Especially if you have no armor, it's hard. Especially with no shield, you must
But as
have a
far as the
shield.
rest of the mobs, pretty much if they want to kill me, they can do so in 2 or 3 hits max. And if we did find more iron from the shipwreck, we definitely would have made like a chest plate or something, but we just didn't. And we're already 9 minutes into this thing, so we kind of got to go. Right off the bat, I saw these pigmen in here, so I figured I'd throw them the 4 extra gold I got from that unfinished portal, just in case they wanted to trade me like something super useful, like some pearls or maybe a fire resistance potion. Also, while they're trading, we can use that time to get blocks with our TNT. That's why TNT is so useful, because you can get like 3 stacks of blocks from one explosion. But unfortunately, the pigs didn't really give us anything of value. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this, but my goal for this is anything under 3 hours to kill all 4 bosses in Minecraft. I don't know how respectable that is in like
3 hours is low. I think personally, okay, I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna say it's gonna take them maybe 6 hours to kill all of them, just because of netherite, and you have to get e-gaps for the warded. The Ender Dragon at least is gonna take him maybe 45 minutes to an hour, because he did say he's not very good at speed running, so We're gonna see. My guess is those 5 to 6 hours.
The grand scheme of things, but for me, I feel like that'd be pretty good. I mean, you have to do a lot to kill the 4 bosses. Anyway, so we find ourselves in this blue forest biome. I see a couple Endermen here and accidentally light one on fire, but now I figured there's a good chance to maybe at least grab a few pearls, which we're gonna need a lot more of later. So the first guy didn't drop any, but the second guy dropped one, so we have at least that. When we were in the middle of killing our third Enderman, this ghast kind of freed him by breaking the boat with his fireball. Now, I was a little sketched out because I thought maybe the Enderman would come back and try to fight me now that he's loose, but I didn't really know where he went, and I saw a bastion right in front of us, so we decided to go to that. Now, this ghast was being kind of a pest and actually kept
Is that treasure bastion? Or is that bastion remembrance?
shooting at us even after we pearled over to the bastion. I should probably mention that I didn't have my headphones on for any of this. I was basically playing without any sound. And that's just because I was recording stuff all day and I was tired of wearing them. But you'll probably see a few moments throughout this whole video where something will surprise me just because I can't hear anything. We do play this bastion super
It's actually fine to play with no audio. I feel like it's fine. Sometimes I actually play willingly with no headphones.
safe because, you know, you definitely don't want to mess around with brutes. They're one of those guys that'll do like 8 hearts to you in one hit. It's absolutely insane. And you'll see here this iron sword we found in one of the chests is actually Smite 4, which is really good because we're going to need to kill a bunch of wither skeletons later.
I'll take Smite is way better than Sharpness. I feel like Smite kills all undead mobs and easily overtakes Sharpness because I think most of the things you kill are actually undead. This is like skeletons, zombie horses, zombies, drown. Let's see. Yeah, wither skeletons, strays, husks. You know, that stuff. Spiders. Actually, not spiders. Oh, I guess that's spiders. But they're very good.
To get wither skulls
Most
so we can fight the wither. And fighting them with Smite is 100 times easier than fighting them without Smite. We get a bunch more golden carrots, which is super nice. A bunch of obsidian or crying obsidian and arrows. At the very bottom of the treasure bastion is where they have a bunch more gold and a couple chests, which I'm pretty sure have the best chances for overpowered loot out of all the bastions.
He needs to take that upgrade template. He needs to because he's gonna need.
And as you can see, we got some pretty good stuff out of both of them. Just to play it safe, we got out of there, and then we traded with a couple piglins that we found, all the gold that we got from the bastion. The trades to note are 8 pearls first of all, which I was surprised, because in the later versions of Minecraft, piglin trading is horrible when it comes to rates with ender pearls, but we also got a lot of arrows, a lot of potions of fire resistance, and obsidian, which we can then use to build a portal out of the nether, once we get blaze rods and stuff. I actually see a fortress that's not that far away, so we try to pearl onto this little island here, miss it just by a little bit and end up in the lava, but it's fine because we had already thrown one of our potions of fire resistance. And from this position we have the range to pearl directly onto the nether fortress. Just like that, we have found a nether fortress and a bastion all pretty close to each other, so it's very fortunate for us. Sometimes those things can be super far apart. We find
He's at 38 minutes. In the nether fortress, he's actually doing quite well for what he's trying to do. But I'm not sure what his goal is. I don't know if he's gonna try and beat the wither. I don't know if he's trying to get wither skulls or something. But 38 minutes is okay. But if we keep if we try and do the Ender Dragon first, which is personally what I would do. Get the Elytra. I feel like if you can get the Ender Dragon sub 1 hour, at Elytra sub 1 hour, I think we should be good.
in the blaze spawner, and now that we have diamond armor and fire resistance potions, the blazes just aren't really that much of a threat, which means we can use the obsidian we got to build our nether portal and just farm the rest of the rods that we need. I end up getting 9 because I'm horrible at triangulation and I just don't want to have to come back here if somehow I end up wasting like a ton of pearls. Now here I'm not entirely sure what I was thinking. You can see I only have 6 eyes of ender. I mean, you need 12 to open the portal to the end unless there are already some filled in, and that's not including the ones that may break when you're using them to find the stronghold itself. But we're already out in the overworld at this point, so I guess
Does he have a bow or a cross? I think I think you should get a bow.
I'm thinking I'll probably just have to look for some endermen along the way, hopefully get some pearls that way. Also, there's a chance that some pearls might be in the chests in the stronghold, so this might not be as big of a mistake as it looks like, but we'll see. On my way, I find a bunch of iron and coal on these like stony peaks, so I take the time to mine all of that because we're gonna need to make an anvil to put some enchants on some of our stuff after we kill the ender dragon. We do spot some endermen on the way to the stronghold, also some creepers, which is very important. I almost forgot, because we need gunpowder from creepers and paper, that way we can make rockets, so when we get our elytra in the end, we have rockets to fly around with. We finally find the stronghold, and now that we're here, we need to find the portal room of
Here's a tip for you guys. When you're in the nether, not nether, in the end, I don't know why I said nether. When you get to the elytra, put Unbreaking 3 on it. Like, you have to, like, trust me, because in case you have to do a lot of flying, you're not gonna want to have your elytra break, like, as you're flying around. Especially when you get back, it's gonna be weakened. So I always put Unbreaking 3 on it when
Course,
I
but
need
we
it.
also need to
Especially while
find
you're the
at
water.
least one of two of the libraries that usually spawn in the stronghold. Also, there are several chests that spawn in here that sometimes can have pearls in them, so we're going to be looking for those as well. First, we end up finding the portal room and this chest, which didn't have any pearls in it, unfortunately
He's
for
got 5
us.
eyes,
Now,
and
when we
I'm
go
really
to look at how
unlucky
many
to
eyes there are
one.
1, and we have 7 that we can make. So after filling all the ones that we had in, we're still 4 ender pearls short, which is kind of a lot. The next thing we find is a library, which is important because we need to mine all these bookshelves.
Yeah,
Well, not all of them, but we need to mine a lot of these bookshelves for books because we need bookshelves for enchanting later. Also, they have chests in them that sometimes have crazy overpowered enchanted books. Like the books in this chest were very good. Not to mention the paper that is also in these chests that we need for rockets. And if you need string for wool for beds, then you can grab all that in here also. Using the lava from the portal room, we make another nether portal because remember, we still need 4 eyes of ender. So I'm hoping to find a blue forest biome in the nether so we can kill enderman until we get 4 pearls. We didn't spawn in a blue forest biome, but luckily for us there was one that wasn't too far away. We quickly killed enderman until we got 4 pearls and then ran straight back to our portal. Now when it comes to fighting the dragon, because we had so many arrows from bastion trading, taking out all the crystals was actually super easy. We did try to do a little bed bombing here to the dragon, but didn't place it right, so then we tried to turn around and place it and then it just was not working out for us. But we got it the next time around, even though it hardly had any health anyway because we were both spamming it for like 5 minutes. But regardless, dragon's dead. First boss out of 4 is dead. We grab all the XP. Unfortunately, some of it burnt because of the fire due to the bed bomb, but we still got most of it. Now the concerning part is now we only have 1 golden carrot when it comes to food, and I think a couple golden apples, but regardless, not a whole lot. But we don't have time to go back to the overworld to get food because we need to find an elytra, which means grabbing the dragon egg for proof that we killed it, and then heading straight for that end gateway over here. Now, I've had it both ways when looking for an elytra. You need to find an end city, and not just an end city, but an end city with a boat. Sometimes it takes like 2 minutes and they're like there right away. Sometimes it takes like an hour or 2. It can get kind of ridiculous. The rest of this run kind of depends on how fast we can get our elytra. Also, our main food source is going to be chorus fruit, which is, I mean, it's nice that there's food in here, but when you eat it, it teleports you all over the place, and especially if you're climbing up an end city, if you eat it, it teleports you all the way back down to the ground. So we're going to save our 2 golden apples to when we find an end city, and if we need to eat when we're up in the air, we're going to eat those golden apples instead of the chorus fruit. Super lucky for us because I remember we're on low render distance, so I up our chunks and then I turn around, and as you can see, as soon as I do that, I mean, we've only been in here for a couple minutes, an end city with a boat appears right behind me, or like to my right next to me. So we beeline it straight to the end.
No hate to guy. No hate to this guy, but I never heard anybody call it a boat, an end city boat. I mean,
City.
Called
Instead
it
of going up on the inside because it's kind of dangerous, I just stacked up right underneath the boat and crawled on top of it. That way we can run straight to the elytra and the loot inside here, and we don't have to worry about getting hit by like 500 shulker boxes at the same time. The loot inside here was pretty good, and this is where the whole dynamic of the run kind of changes. Assuming everything goes well from here on out, as soon as you get elytra, your progress should kind of like exponentially speed up. That's why we're an hour and 40 minutes into this run, and we've only killed 1 boss, and I think we're still on good pace to kill the other 3 under 3 hours. Storage for us has kind of been a little bit of a problem, so that's why I took the time to kill these shulkers in hopes that they would drop shulker shells, because if they do, then we could of course make shulker boxes, or at least 1, and put all the stuff we're not using in our inventory but that we do need in there and keep it with us at all times.
I wonder how many tries this took. You're in hard. I have to give this guy a lot of credit for doing this. This is insane. All bosses. I cannot wait for the warden fight.
Luckily, they did drop shulker shells, and we were able to do that. Now, using the rockets we had crafted earlier, we are able to fly around this end city and loot, still from the outside, the rest of the chests and loot that they have for us. And just like that, we are out back into the overworld. Well, not quite, but well, back to the main island, and then back out into the overworld at about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Right back to where we started. First thing we did was collect some more food because, as you remember, we were stuck eating chorus fruit, and we don't want to continue doing that. Plus, there was a bunch of cows right here. We put together our enchantment setup, including our anvil and our books that we got from the library, and also a smithing table because we got some netherite from the bastion we looted. The only thing was, at this point, I realized I needed lapis lazuli, which I had not gathered any up to this point. So I kind of made a dumb decision and was like, alright, well, we'll just mine down for it, find a cave, and find some. And while we did find diamonds, we never...
I wonder if he's gonna get a totem. I think you should do it sooner rather than go to Woodland
We
Manor.
actually ran into a cave, so I even doubled down and tried to wormhole around and find a cave. And after enough time was wasted, I remembered that we had Elytra and we could easily fly around until we found a cave. I didn't know why we didn't do that in the first place. Anyways, we found some lapis lazuli, we killed a few more creepers for gunpowder, and then we got back to our enchantment setup. Something I learned recently is that you will always get looting 3 on your iron sword if you enchant it as your first enchantment of a brand new world, which is useful because we need wither skulls.
There's actually very good chance. Wow.
Once we got our armor enchanted, I started enchanting books because I'm looking for unbreaking and or mending that we can put on our elytra, because if we don't have unbreaking on our elytra,
Dude, he only has like 3 more chances left, so
there's a good
Yeah,
chance
yeah,
that it's
lucky.
going to break before we're done using it. While doing this, we got an infinity book, which we're going to put on our bow because that's going to be super nice. And right after that, we found a level 30 Unbreaking 3 enchant, which we had just enchanted enough stuff so where we're under level 30. So that means we're going to have to get 2 more levels of XP. I thought maybe we could kill mobs for them, but that was going to take way too long. And then I remembered we could easily go back into the nether and mine quartz, which gives you a ton of XP. We did that, got our Unbreaking book. Then using the anvil, we put Unbreaking 3 on our elytra. Killed some spiders real quick to get string for a bow. Put infinity on that. Combined our looting 3 and Unbreaking sword with our smite sword. Then we put protection 4 on our boots. Put power 4 on our bow also. Needed just a little bit more XP, so we went back into the nether to mine some more quartz. And then we were able to put smite 5 on our iron sword. We're 2 hours and 21 minutes into this thing, so we figured it's probably time to actually start killing some more of the bosses. We made some doors and then flew around over this ocean in hopes to find an ocean monument. And like I said, they're all over the place, so we found this one right here. I think the easiest way to do it is to just go at it from above. Put on your chest plate and then you just mine through the floor, because there's always an Elder Guardian in this top section. Now, I put some doors down even though I had good respiration on my helmet. It's always nice to have a little air pocket in case you need it. I mean, this is a pretty easy fight. You can kind of get glitched in the same spot sometimes, but all you really need to do is just kind of bob and weave in and out in between their level of eyesight. And they don't have that much health, so just like that, 2 out of the 4 bosses are down, and we can grab the sponge to prove it. Now, you're going to get mining fatigue from that fight, but it's not a big deal because normally you can just find a cow, drink milk, and then
Fun fact, you can actually milk goats.
no longer have mining fatigue. I surprisingly found no cows in the 5 minutes when I had the mining fatigue, and I was more focused on finding a good mountain where there might be a large cave system underneath. Usually under large mountain systems you can find an ancient city or at least a deep dark biome, which is what we're going to need to find if we want to kill a warden. It did take a couple tries, but it's not that big of a time waste if you have elytra, especially elytra with unbreaking, because this is where you're going to need to cover a lot of ground, and where if you don't have unbreaking you will likely break your elytra. But then I found this gigantic mountain here, and I was almost 100% sure there's at least a deep dark biome down here somewhere. We don't necessarily need it to be an ancient city, we just need 1 Skulk Shrieker. But in this particular case, it did end up being an ancient city. Killing the warden's all about...
Okay, I just remembered. He could kill the warden if he does it the right way, because you have to get the box it in, and then go like 30 blocks away, so it's like glitched, and then you can just shoot it until it dies. Like, that's... You could cheese it, but this guy actually just fights it, like, normally, like, the way you're intended to, I guess. Actually, not really supposed to fight the one, but do it the way you're intended to.
About really finding a good spot. If you can just get above him, which we did, and then we shot arrows down at a Skulk Shrieker until it actually spawned in a warden. There's not
You have to be 30 blocks away for this
not much he can do. You just have to make sure you're out of his range, because his sonic blast laser thing actually reaches kind of far. But then when you're above him, especially if you have an infinity bow, you can just bow spam him, and there we go. 3 bosses out of 4 down with less than half an hour to go. And he drops a Skulk Catalyst for some reason, which we picked up as proof of our 3rd boss killed. We again needed to kill some more creepers for gunpowder, but when I was leaving, I noticed some phantoms behind me, which is actually extremely...
If he was able to fight the warden like normally, that'd be cool, but I do get why he cheesed it.
Useful because phantoms drop phantom membrane, and you can actually heal up your elytra with phantom membrane. Now our elytra is getting kind of low just because of how much we used it before we put the unbreaking on it. So with these guys spawning in, and they spawn in when you don't sleep for 3 days in a row, which we I guess did not, this is going to pretty much give us the ability to
rainbows in there too?
Fly around for the rest of the run as much as we want to. To get Wither Skulls, we obviously need to go back into the Nether. So we found this lava pit here flying around, and we're going to make another Nether portal. Also, I turned this whole thing into obsidian so we can mine some. That way we have 10, so if we get the Wither Skulls, we can just make a portal right where we're at, come back to the overworld and fight the Wither. Now this is where I started getting a little nervous because I've had times trying this challenge before where I've gotten to this part and then I go to kill Wither skeletons and I just don't get any drops, or at least don't get all 3 drops by the time we need to get the drops. Like sometimes it
He has like 17 minutes left. This is getting this. You have to get really lucky.
takes over half an hour. Sometimes it takes like 45 minutes. And so
I think
unless
we'll
we
do it in about maybe 3 hours and 15 minutes.
get really lucky, we might be kind of screwed here, but we did find this Nether fortress. It did seem like it had a good amount of Wither skeletons and mobs because it is in a soul sand valley. Now I kid you not, this is the best luck I've ever had with gathering
Okay, so
Wither
you'll get
skulls.
lucky.
So if you look at the timer, it's at 2 hours and 44 minutes, and that's when we get our first Wither skull. Still at 2 hours and 44 minutes, we get our second Wither skull. We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes right now. We start to fly away and come back to kind of respawn in more as many mobs as we can.
Nice
Hopefully
try.
Wither skeleton. And when we come back, right when we fly in, there's a bunch of them. And at the 2 hour and 46 minute mark, we get our third Wither skull. And so at this point, I'm thinking, all right, we're out. Let's go. This was absolutely insane. We kill this guy. We get 4. We get 4 Wither skulls in like within 3 minutes of being at the fortress. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. So then we go over to set up where we're going to kill the Wither. Should be a simple process. You just dig down a bit into a mountain, dig a too tall tunnel so you can fit through it but the Wither can't, and then spawn the Wither in the middle of the mountain so he has nowhere to go except to you. The problem was that when he exploded, I saw a light out here and I was like, oh crap. I didn't put him far enough into the mountain. He can get out now and go wherever he wants. Now, luckily, I have this bow and I have pretty good armor, so I think if I can keep him distracted down here, he won't fly above the surface and I won't have to fight him above ground. The only thing is, I'll take a pretty good amount of damage doing this, but we only need to get him down to half health before he gets close enough to where we can hit him with our smite sword. So we do that, and it's a good thing we had pretty good armor with like protection on all of it, because there's a good chance we would have died doing this with worse armor. Anyway, once we get him in this spot, then it's actually pretty easy to kill him, especially with a sword that's like as OP as this. And we have now killed 4 out of the 4 bosses in Minecraft Hardcore. Just under 3 hours. Let's go. Holy cow. I failed that challenge so many times.
Bible verse of the video. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Psalm 130. I'm not really a Christian, so I don't really understand. Someone's got to fill me in. I don't know. But that was cool. You did very good. W video.
Dr. Donut's server is flooding and it actually might be cooked. It's got so bad, he made an entire video trying to unflood it himself, but barely made a dent. So, while he was live today, he asked for my help.
It's not that bad, I mean.
Should I drain or should I, flood?
Bro, please help drain the server. Please.
You want me to drain it? I'll make
Yes.
a big draining machine.
Yes!
What is happening there? Is it
Yes! We need this, bro!
Flooding has got so popular on the Donut SMP, you can't even log in without seeing water. Not exaggerating, it's everywhere. Turns out, the machine causing all of this can be flipped by moving it up just 1 block. Instead of spreading water, it will start deleting it. That's it. That's the entire fix. I used this to clear water and felt like a hero for like 10 seconds. Then I realized that's just one section out of a server sitting under billions of blocks of water. So, should I run the biggest drainer this server has ever seen? Dr. Donut's
Okay. Alright, we're gonna see if we can find any we're gonna see if we can find any we're gonna see if we can find any water on the Donut SMP. Okay. Donut SMP. Alright. Anyway, boys, this is the base of the Donut SMP. Very nice, very nice. I know, very nice. A very cool base. Actually, I'll show you around. We'll look for water. I'm not leaking the location of the base, so no one get excited. I'm not even gonna like share to you like where anything even is. Actually, what is this anyway? I think my friend built it. Oh, this is a slime thing. I lost my sword. Okay, I gotta buy a sword. Yo, 7 mil for just an unenchanted netherite. Oh my god. That is actually scammy, dude. Yo, how much do slime balls go for? I cannot believe this isn't a slime chunk, by the way. I did not even know this. I'm not even kidding. 1.5k. Okay, it's cheap. I mean, okay. What even is this? Ah, I need to do that. I guess it's a super small. Wait. What is this? Yeah, someone tell me what this is. Bro, what is this? Okay. I'm gonna show you guys something. Let's see. Let's see. Ignore the weather, dude. I have no idea what's going on. Yo, I don't see any water. Yeah, I don't see any water. There's like no water. We've got a anyway, this is a trap. Okay, let's go down this ladder. I'll show you guys. Basically how this works. They land here, they can't place anything, and then you just crit them out. Boom, boom, boom. But we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna put buttons down here so they literally can't do anything. They can't put any crystals down or anything like that. Alright. Alright. Yeah. This is actually insane. So basically, you put crafting tables down. Alright, you got crafting tables. So you're in here, you can't... I want to replace these as crafting tables too. And basically, the goal is you can't crystal anybody. So let's say you're in here, you're trying to place crystals. You can't, because you can't place them anywhere. I also want these to be crafting tables. Anyway, this is now completely good now. I also want to put a button here so they can't put anything there to block themselves off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Dude, there's like a literal wither here. It's annoying. So, like, I was PvPing this guy and he just like he just summoned a wither for like no reason. I don't know, it's like weird. Yeah, there's like a way you can get up here. I didn't even build this, by the way. My friend built this. We're gonna try it out. I'm just gonna trap people. How high up is this? All the people that I have beef with on. Dr. Donuts on. I don't have beef with Dr. Donuts. So. Okay, we're close, we're close. Alright. Alright, make like a platform and then like a little thing here. What basically what's gonna happen is I do not want to do that. Yo, what happened to my axe? Okay. Alright, basically I'm gonna hit them in and they're gonna plummet to into their demise. It's basically foolproof. Anyway, let's TP people. Let's TPA people here. I usually type in like random letters and see who comes. Yeah, he disabled his What I like to do, I like to do it the YT because like these guys, I think they're special. Yo, this guy right here, I have beef with Moxie. Let's see. Do it. Him. YT. YT Kid Gamer. YTZ me. The dots before these people's names, these are actually Bedrock players. when someone actually like is dumb enough to accept. Minecraft hacker. Hopefully he's not a real hacker. Basically just send people a bunch of TPA here requests. We just hope that somebody actually accepts. Oh, I got someone. Yeah, we gotta fix that. They spawn too high up. He had 76 million too, which is very good. Anyway, I think he died. Where's his loot anyway? I don't want Pillar Rack up here, so he had nothing on. I keep TPA here. Just keep sending TPA requests. Let's see. B. I'm gonna be.